Hey warrior, look around you. We're living in a time where people explode over a comment, lose control over a text message, and let strangers online dictate their mood. Everyone reacts instantly, emotionally, impulsively, just because it feels easy. But easy is exactly what destroys your power. A Stoic does the opposite. When the world screams, he stays calm. When chaos rises, he remains grounded. When others break, he becomes unshakable. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." And that one sentence separates the weak from the unstoppable. Because the moment you master your emotions, you stop being controlled by circumstances, by people, by their opinions, by their storms. Tonight, we're going to break down 7 Stoic emotional mastery truths that will make you calmer, smarter, harder to shake, and impossible to break. Before we dive in, comment below. I master my emotions. 1. Your first reaction is just biology, not wisdom. Your first reaction is never the real you. It's your biology, your nervous system, your survival wiring firing off before your wisdom even has a chance to speak. The world trains you to trust that first flash of anger, fear, insecurity, or defensiveness. But Stoicism teaches the opposite. Your first reaction is the lowest version of you, and your power comes from refusing to act from that place. Think about the last time someone offended you, interrupted you, ignored your message, questioned your intentions, or embarrassed you in front of others. Your chest tightened, your jaw clenched, your mind rushed to defend, attack, or explain. That impulse felt urgent, almost irresistible. That's biology. That's survival mode. That's the emotional reflex every human has lived with for thousands of years. But here's the part most people never understand. Feeling is automatic. Reacting is optional. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." He didn't say how you feel about it, because he knew feelings come first, and they come fast. Stoic mastery begins the moment you create a tiny space between the feeling and the action. That space is where your discipline lives. That space is where your character lives. That space is where your power lives. Imagine someone sends you a disrespectful text. Most people respond instantly. Paragraphs, attitude, accusations, emotional heat. They try to win the moment, but lose something much bigger: their self-control, their dignity, their peace. A Stoic reads the message, inhales once, exhales slowly, and lets the wave pass. They understand that 95% of emotional pain lasts less than 90 seconds if you don't feed it with reaction. The problem is this: modern society worships immediacy, instant replies, instant outrage, instant judgment, instant emotional release. But immediacy destroys wisdom, it destroys relationships, it destroys self-respect. People react faster than they think, and then they regret faster than they can apologize. Stoicism gives you the antidote. Pause, observe, interpret, act later. The pause doesn't make you weak, it makes you untouchable. The person who acts instantly is predictable. The person who pauses becomes powerful because no one can manipulate or rush a mind that refuses to be triggered. Try this. When someone disrespects you, don't argue. When someone tries to provoke you, don't rise to it. When someone lies, criticizes, or judges you, don't shoot back. Just pause. Breathe. Look at them with calm eyes. It's not silence from fear, it's silence from mastery. In that moment, you reclaim authority over yourself. Their behavior no longer dictates your behavior. Their chaos no longer shifts your mood. Their emotional volatility no longer drags you into their storm. Because the moment you pause, the spell breaks. You see clearly. You think clearly. You choose clearly. And here's the deeper truth most people never hear. Your pause intimidates more than your anger ever will. Anger is expected. Calm is confusing. Anger is emotional. Calm is strategic. Anger is noise. Calm is power. When you master the pause, you stop reacting like prey and start responding like a warrior. You become the type of person people cannot push, cannot trigger, cannot destabilize. You become someone who chooses the right response, not the emotional one. The next time your heart pounds, your voice rises, your fingers want to type faster, or your mind screams, "Respond now." Don't. Step back. Give your wisdom time to arrive. Let the biology settle so the mind can take command. Your new mantra is simple. My first reaction is biology. My chosen response is power. That is the first pillar of emotional mastery. And once you master this, no one, not insults, not pressure, not disrespect, can control you again. 2. Emotions are stories. You tell yourself. Most people don't realize this. Your emotions aren't facts. They're interpretations. They're stories your mind creates in seconds, often without evidence, without context, and without wisdom. And the moment you mistake the story for the truth, your emotions take full control of you. A friend doesn't text back. Your mind says, "They're ignoring me." Someone sounds short in conversation. Your mind says, "They're upset with me." A coworker doesn't acknowledge your contribution. Your mind says, "They don't value me." But none of these interpretations are guaranteed to be true. They are emotional guesses, not reality. And yet, people live their entire lives acting on these guesses as if the universe personally confirmed them. Stoicism cuts straight through this illusion. Marcus Aurelius said, "If you are troubled, it is not because of the thing itself, but your estimate of it." That is the knife that slices reality from emotion. What he means is simple. The event is neutral. Your story is not. Think back to a time someone seemed distant. Your heart sank. Your thoughts spiraled. You replayed conversations, wondering what you did wrong. Hours later, you discovered they were tired, busy, distracted, or dealing with something personal. The story you told yourself had absolutely nothing to do with reality, yet it consumed you like it was the truth. That is the trap. Your brain fills uncertainty with fear. It fills silence with insecurity. It fills gaps with worst-case scenarios. Why? Because the human mind prefers a negative story over no story at all. Certainty, even painful certainty, feels safer than not knowing. But Stoic mastery begins when you refuse to believe the first story your mind creates. Here is the powerful shift. Emotion. First story, wisdom. Second story, truth. Requires investigation. Your job is to pause long enough to challenge the story, especially the emotional ones you feel strongest. Consider this. Someone doesn't wave at you. You instantly feel dismissed. But what if they simply didn't see you? Someone doesn't include you in a conversation. You instantly feel unwanted. But what if they assumed you were busy or preoccupied? Your emotional interpretation is not a psychic vision. It's an emotional reflex. And emotional reflexes are almost always focused on danger, rejection, or personalization. Stoicism teaches you to ask one simple question that breaks the entire illusion. What else could this mean? This question doesn't make you naive. It makes you rational. It forces your mind to generate alternative interpretations instead of locking on to the most painful one. Try this exercise the next time you feel triggered. Write down the emotional story your mind is telling you. Then write down 2 alternate possibilities. You will feel your emotional intensity drop because your brain is no longer trapped inside one narrative. It now sees options, perspectives, realities outside the initial emotional impulse. This is emotional freedom. Choosing the interpretation that aligns with truth, not fear. The people who suffer most are the ones who assume their emotions are accurate. The people who stay calm, grounded, and powerful are those who refuse to let emotion write the whole story. Once you learn to challenge your emotional narratives, you stop reacting to illusions. You stop fighting battles that don't exist. You stop hurting yourself with stories that were never real in the first place. The truth is this: your emotions are loud, but they aren't always honest. They reflect your past, your fears, your insecurities, not necessarily reality. You become powerful the moment you question them. Your new mindset is simple and life-changing. I don't follow the story my emotions create. I investigate the truth. That is emotional mastery, and it's a power most people never develop. 3. You cannot let people transfer their chaos into you. One of the biggest emotional traps in modern life is absorbing the chaos of other people. Their anger becomes your stress. Their insecurity becomes your doubt. Their negativity becomes your exhaustion. And without realizing it, you end up carrying emotions that never belonged to you in the first place. You know exactly how this feels. Someone walks into the room with a bad mood, and suddenly the whole atmosphere shifts. A coworker snaps at you, and your confidence shakes. A family member unloads their frustration, and your peace evaporates. People throw their emotional storms at you because it's easier than dealing with themselves. And if you're not careful, you become a container for a hurricane you didn't create. Stoicism teaches the opposite. Not all emotions you feel are yours. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." But he also meant we suffer from other people's imaginations too. Their fears, their projections, their stories, their inner storms. Emotional contagion is real, but mastery begins when you create a boundary between their world and your inner world. Consider this scenario. A coworker snaps at you for something small. Most people immediately personalize it. Did I do something wrong? Are they mad at me? Is this about me? But a Stoic doesn't absorb it. A Stoic observes it. Because 9 times out of 10, their reaction had nothing to do with you. Maybe they slept poorly, got bad news, felt insecure, or experienced pressure you know nothing about. Their storm only becomes your storm when you let it. Here's the truth. People in emotional chaos look for someone to hand their chaos to. Don't be that someone. You need what the Stoics practiced daily: the internal firewall, a mental shield that filters what enters your mind and what stays out. It doesn't mean you become cold or detached. It means you refuse to let someone else's lack of emotional discipline destroy your own. There's a simple phrase that protects your peace instantly. This is theirs, not mine. Someone complains endlessly. This is theirs, not mine. Someone projects insecurity onto you. This is theirs, not mine. Someone attacks you because they're hurting. This is theirs, not mine. Someone spirals into panic or drama. This is theirs, not mine. This is not avoidance. It is emotional sovereignty. Try this technique next time someone tries to drag you into their storm. Breathe slowly, once. Say internally, "Not mine." Speak calmly or choose silence. Keep your posture still and your tone neutral. Something powerful happens when you do this. Other people lose the ability to emotionally hijack you. Their flame stops burning you. Their storm stops shaking you. Their chaos stops dictating the climate inside your mind. You begin to notice who drains you and who grounds you. You see clearly who respects your energy and who tries to use you as a dumping ground. You start creating distance, not emotional coldness, but emotional clarity. People will call you quiet, hard to read, or too calm when you refuse to absorb their chaos. But understand this, those comments come from people who thrive on emotional turbulence. Your calm is a threat to their lack of control. Remember this truth. You're not responsible for managing the emotions that other people refuse to manage themselves. You're responsible only for your reaction, your boundaries, your peace. Your power grows the moment you stop carrying storms that are not yours. That's emotional discipline, and it's one of the rarest forms of strength in today's world. 4. Control your attention, and you control your emotions. If you want to understand why your emotions feel unstable, this is the truth most people overlook. Your emotions follow your attention. Whatever you focus on grows. Whatever you repeatedly look at shapes your inner world. And whatever captures your attention ultimately controls how you feel. In the modern world, attention is being stolen everywhere. Notifications, arguments online, headlines designed to provoke fear, comments designed to trigger anger, comparison traps that fuel insecurity. Most people don't realize their emotional chaos doesn't originate inside them. It begins with what they allow into their mind. Marcus Aurelius warned, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Today, those thoughts are influenced by every screen, sound, argument, and distraction pulling at your awareness. If your attention is scattered, your emotions will be scattered. If your attention is anxious, your emotions will become anxious. If your attention is focused on negativity, your emotions will become negativity. Your emotional life can't rise above the quality of your attention. Think about how your day feels when you start by scrolling. You take in anger, fear, drama, complaints, and curated perfection that makes you feel behind. And then you wonder why you're irritated, exhausted, or insecure before the day even begins. It's not your personality. It's your attention being hijacked. Think about how easily someone else's tone, mistakes, or outbursts can dominate your internal world when you give it too much focus. If you replay what they said in your mind all day, your emotions get trapped in loops of resentment or anxiety. But the moment you pull your attention away, your emotional state changes instantly. This is why Stoics treated attention as a discipline, something sacred, something to guard fiercely. Your attention is the doorway to your emotional life. Leave the door open, and anything can walk in. Guard it well, and suddenly your emotions stop being unpredictable storms and start becoming calm, intentional choices. Here's the truth. You cannot control every situation, but you can control where your mind rests. And that determines how you feel far more than the situation itself. Try this for one day. Catch yourself each time your mind drifts into unnecessary drama, comparison, or fear. Notice how your body reacts. Then pull your attention away. Focus on your breath, your task, your values, your next step. You will feel the emotional shift immediately. Where focus goes, emotion flows. The world wants your attention because attention is power. Corporations want it. Strangers online want it. People who thrive on chaos want it. They know that if they have your attention, they have influence over your feelings, your reactions, and your mental peace. Take your attention back, and your emotional world becomes yours again. A Stoic practices 3 layers of attention discipline. 1. Limit the noise. Reduce exposure to people, places, and platforms that feed emotional turbulence. Not from fear, but from self-respect. 2. Direct your focus. Choose what deserves your mental energy. Growth, health, priorities, virtues, meaningful work. 3. Guard your input. Don't let everyone and everything have access to your inner world. Not every message deserves a response. Not every comment deserves your energy. Not every problem deserves space in your mind. When you control your attention, you stop being emotionally reactive. You become emotionally intentional. And the moment your attention obeys you, your emotions start following the same discipline. Never forget the real power here. You feel what you feed your mind. You become what you repeatedly focus on. And nothing can break a person who chooses carefully what enters their attention. This is the Stoic way. Guard your mind, and your emotions will guard you back. 5. You only control action, not outcome. One of the biggest emotional weights people carry is the illusion that they can control outcomes. They think they can control how people respond, how situations unfold, how opportunities turn out, how relationships evolve, and how life rewards their effort. And when reality doesn't match their expectations, they break. Not because life was cruel, but because their expectations were unrealistic. Stoicism removes that illusion with a single principle: control what you do, not what happens. Most emotional suffering comes from trying to control what was never yours. You send a message hoping for a specific reaction. You give kindness, hoping for appreciation. You work hard, hoping for recognition. You stay loyal, hoping for loyalty back. You put in effort, hoping everything will unfold exactly as planned. And when reality responds differently, your emotions crash. Not because of the event, but because of the expectation. Epictetus said, "Some things are within our control and some things are not." This is the cornerstone of emotional stability. Your actions, your choices, your behavior, your discipline, your effort are yours. Everything else, the timing, the reactions, the opinions, the outcomes, is not. When you blur that line, you suffer. When you respect that line, you become unbreakable. Consider relationships. You can love wholeheartedly, communicate clearly, set boundaries with integrity, but you cannot control whether someone stays, understands, grows, or chooses you. That is their path, not yours. When you tie your emotional peace to their choices, you hand them power over your life. Consider your career. You can prepare perfectly, study relentlessly, perform at your absolute best, but you cannot control the market, the timing, the bias of decision makers, or the unpredictability of life. When you believe effort guarantees outcome, disappointment becomes inevitable. Consider your personal goals. You can train hard, stay consistent, build skills, and show up every day, but you cannot force instant results, rapid progress, or external validation. Growth takes time. Mastery takes patience. Life does not reward you on your timeline. When you stop demanding outcomes and start focusing on actions, your emotions stop swinging like a pendulum. You become centered, steady, grounded, peaceful. Why? Because actions are within your authority and outcomes are not. Here's a truth few people are willing to accept. Your emotional pain doesn't come from what happens. It comes from wanting to control what happens. And here's where Stoicism becomes a superpower. The moment you commit fully to action and release attachment to outcome, you become mentally invincible. Try this simple exercise used by warriors, leaders, and Stoics for centuries. Draw 2 columns. On the left, what I control. On the right, what I don't. Write your situation in both sides. You will instantly feel emotional pressure dissolve because your mind stops wrestling with things it can't influence. This practice doesn't make you passive. It makes you powerful. It doesn't make you indifferent. It makes you free. It doesn't make you cold. It makes you wise. People who tie their emotions to outcomes live in constant disappointment. People who tie their emotions to actions live in constant progress. Imagine the strength you gain when your peace is based solely on what you do, not on who approves, who notices, or what results appear immediately. That's the emotional clarity of a Stoic. That's the internal freedom that makes someone unstoppable. Your new frame is simple. My job is action. Life's job is outcome. And when you honor that distinction, nothing, no failure, no person, no rejection, no delay can break you again. 6. Emotional discipline creates inner strength. People talk about strength as if it's something you build in the gym or earn through accomplishments or gain by being louder, tougher, or more dominant than others. But real strength, the kind that commands respect, the kind that carries you through storms, the kind that cannot be shaken, is emotional discipline. Without it, every area of your life collapses. With it, every part of your life elevates. Think about how quickly a person loses credibility when they can't control their emotions. A leader who snaps under pressure, a partner who explodes when conflicted, a professional who panics the moment something goes wrong, a friend who becomes unpredictable when overwhelmed. People don't lose trust because they fail. They lose trust because they cannot stay grounded while failing. Stoicism teaches that your emotional stability is part of your virtue. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the mind must remain unperturbed, not because life is easy, but because strength is the ability to remain steady when everything else shakes. Emotional discipline is not about suppressing feelings. It's about mastering the response. You don't have to be cold. You just have to be in control. Look at the people who inspire you. Not the loud ones, not the reactive ones, not the ones who break the moment life pushes them. The ones you admire are calm under pressure, thoughtful in conflict, stable in chaos, and consistent even when stressed. People follow the emotionally disciplined because they feel safe around them. And yet, emotional discipline is the trait most people neglect. Instead, they let emotions swing them like a pendulum. Good day, confident. Bad day, hopeless. Approval, energized. Criticism, crushed. Liked, secure. Ignored, insecure. When your emotions change your identity has no foundation. But when you choose your emotional state, everything shifts. You become someone others look at and think, how do they stay so calm? You become the anchor in rooms full of turbulence. You become the person who handles conflict with clarity instead of chaos. You become someone who cannot be manipulated, provoked, or thrown off course. Emotional discipline doesn't mean you feel less. It means you react less. Try this. Each morning, choose one emotional quality you will practice for the day: patience, calm, steadiness, clarity, resilience, or neutrality. This becomes your emotional North Star. Throughout the day, every time you face conflict or frustration, return to that chosen state. This single habit retrains your nervous system, builds identity-based discipline, and creates emotional strength faster than any motivational advice ever could. You will notice something powerful as you practice this. Your reactions slow down. Your decisions improve. Your relationships stabilize. Your confidence deepens. Your inner world becomes solid. And when your inner world is solid, the outer world loses its power over you. People who lack emotional discipline are always at the mercy of circumstances. A rude comment can ruin their day. A mistake can destroy their confidence. A delay can break their motivation. But a disciplined mind doesn't crumble from small things. It doesn't panic. It doesn't spiral. It adjusts, adapts, and keeps moving. Here's the truth. The strongest people aren't unemotional. They're unshakable. They feel deeply, but they react wisely. They experience setbacks, but they stay composed. They face pressure, but they don't collapse. Their strength is quiet, controlled, intentional. You build this strength through repetition, not perfection. One calm response at a time, one controlled breath at a time, one mindful pause at a time, one difficult moment handled well at a time. Emotional discipline is not a talent. It is a trained skill. And once you develop it, you become someone incredibly rare in this world. Because while everyone else is breaking from the inside out, you become the one person who stands firm. Carry that with you every day. Practice the pause. Question the story. Guard your attention. Choose your emotional state. And when life hits hard, remind yourself, I don't control the storm, but I control myself. If this video spoke to you, leave a comment below and tell me which truth hit hardest. And if you want more content that strengthens your mind and builds your discipline, make sure you like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs it. Because emotional mastery isn't just a lesson, it's a lifestyle, a Stoic lifestyle. 7. If you master emotion, life cannot break you. Life will test you in ways you never asked for. It will take things you weren't ready to lose. It will blindside you with betrayal, knock you down with failure, and hit you with moments that feel too heavy for one human being. No one escapes hardship. No one escapes loss. No one escapes pain. But what separates the destroyed from the unbreakable is one skill: emotional mastery. Most people fall apart, not because life is too cruel, but because they never trained their inner world. They never built a mind strong enough to withstand uncertainty, pressure, disappointment, or chaos. So when the storm hits, they collapse emotionally before anything physical goes wrong. The Stoics lived in a world filled with war, exile, injustice, and sudden tragedy. Yet they became some of the most resilient humans in history. Why? Because they understood a timeless truth: the obstacle becomes the way. Marcus Aurelius didn't write this from comfort. He wrote it from the battlefield, from a life filled with loss, betrayal, and unimaginable responsibility. He realized that hardship doesn't break you. Your emotional reaction does. Pain doesn't destroy you. Your resistance to pain does. The event is rarely the thing that shatters a person. It's the story they attach to that event. When you master your emotions, you stop giving life the power to break you. Imagine this: you lose an opportunity. Most people spiral into discouragement or self-doubt, but a Stoic sees a shift, a redirection, a lesson. You face betrayal. Most people drown in anger or victimhood, but a Stoic sees truth revealed, clarity gained, self-respect strengthened. You face failure. Most people think it means they're not good enough, but a Stoic sees data, progress, and a chance to rebuild smarter. You face uncertainty. Most people panic, but a Stoic breathes, observes, adjusts, and continues. Your emotional response determines whether a challenge becomes your downfall or your transformation. Life cannot break a person who refuses to hand over their inner stability. You don't control the storm, but you control the ship. You don't control the waves, but you control the direction. You don't control the outcome, but you control your preparation. And this is where emotional mastery becomes supernatural. When you remain steady inside, external chaos loses its power. People can betray you. You stay steady. Plans can fail. You stay steady. Life can shift. You stay steady. Others can judge. You stay steady. Opportunities can slip. You stay steady. Strength doesn't mean you don't feel. It means you don't fall apart. Try this Stoic ritual whenever life hits you hard. Sit down. Place one hand on your chest. Breathe deeply and say, "Nothing inside me breaks without my permission." Feel the truth of it. Your mind, not the event, creates your durability. Your discipline, not your circumstances, builds your armor. Stoics didn't train to avoid suffering. They trained to remain themselves inside suffering. That is the real power. Emotional mastery doesn't make life easier. It makes you stronger than whatever life throws at you. And when your inner world becomes harder to shake than the world outside, you reach a state most people never experience. Calm in crisis, purpose in chaos, strength in uncertainty, peace in pressure, clarity in seasons of change. This is what makes someone truly unbreakable. Not muscle, not money, not status, but mastery over the one thing life can't take unless you give it away: your inner state. Your new truth is simple and final. Life can challenge me, but it cannot break me, because I control what happens inside. That is the ultimate Stoic victory. That is emotional freedom. That is real, unshakable power. If you've made it this far, then you already know something most people never realize. Emotional mastery isn't about becoming emotionless. It's about becoming powerful enough to choose your response, protect your peace, and stay anchored no matter what life throws at you. These 7 truths aren't theories. They're tools. Tools you can use every day to stay centered when others lose control, to stay calm when others panic, to stay clear when others get consumed by fear, anger, or insecurity. Remember this: the world will always try to provoke you. People will test your patience. Situations will challenge your courage. Life will shift in ways you don't expect. But none of that determines who you become. Only your inner discipline does. You're strongest when your mind is steady. You're most respected when your reactions are intentional. You're impossible to break when your emotions answer to you, not to the world.